From LEX 18, your official UK sports station for Big Blue Nation, this is BBN Tonight, presented by UK Federal Credit Union.
Yes, we are a football school, and I'm proud to say that. We've been just working constantly to build our reputation, and it's not, to us, it's not a surprise no more to do good. Like, that's the standard. The standard is to win every game that we play.
DeAndre Square says Kentucky is a football school, and tonight we're certainly a football show. Welcome to a special episode of BBN Tonight. I'm Keith Farmer.
And I'm Anna Tarullo, and tonight is going to be fun, guys. We have everything you need to know from UK's turn in the spotlight at SEC Media Days.
Our Eli Gain was in Atlanta covering the Cats. We'll start with his report and what the Cats are looking forward to in 2022 for tonight's Big Blue story presented by CHI, St. Joseph Health.
With 59 career victories at UK, Mark Stoops is just 2 wins shy of surpassing Paul Bear Bryant as the all-time winningest coach in program history. Who would have thought we would be in this situation after he joined the program nearly 10 years ago? What he and his staff have done over the years is this: build a foundation of success and sustain that success.
Some of the stats that Tony and Tom and some people give me, I read once in a while that kind of catch your eye. I believe there's only 11 teams in the country that have won more games than us in the last 4 years. I mean, that's not something just to brush off.
Now, one of the key pieces to this team's success, QB1 Will Levis, who's finally heading in as the full starting quarterback for Kentucky after joining last offseason.
It is a little bit of just less stress on me, it's my first offseason as an established starter and someone who's not really competing for a job, and I think it gives me more focus to worry about just the leadership side of things and getting the guys together and working on the chemistry. And I think I've just really been able to improve a lot more throughout this offseason because of that.
The praise and expectations continue to rise for Levis, who accounted for 30 total touchdowns last year, 24 through the air. Now he's being looked at as a possible Heisman favorite or a top 5 or top 10 pick in next year's NFL draft.
He took the reins a long time ago, never gave him back up, and had a tremendous season, as you know. And all he's really focused on is getting better. He continues to lead. He's a great leader, great teammate, but he's really working hard, on himself to be a better football player.
I mean, I see it. I can't not see it. But we know that it's not going to affect how we're preparing and how we work. And I think it gives me more focus to worry about just the leadership side of things and getting the guys together and working on the chemistry.
Each season, Kentucky's goals remain the same: punching its ticket to Atlanta to compete for an SEC championship. It's no different this year, but in order to do so, they'll have to dethrone the Georgia Bulldogs. This team believes it can finally get it done.
Yes, sir. That's weighs on our mind every day. That's what we break the huddle on every workout, every meeting. We break down the ATL because we know what our goals are. And our goal is to get right back here.
We know what our goals are, which is to be back here in December in Atlanta. We break down on that on almost everything we do. And we just want to make sure that everything we do is in line with that goal.
So like I said, I came back to win. I really want this SEC championship, and a lot of the guys do too. Like, everybody, that's the focus. Like, we have meetings, player-led meetings all the time, and I always say that if your mind is not on the SEC championship, then don't even practice.
And again, we want more. We expect more. What I concentrate on is that some of those games that got away that we had an opportunity to win, and that's really our focus, to continue to take the program to the next level.
Mark Stoops also says Chris Rodriguez is back in Lexington and continues to work with the team, so expect to see him in blue and white this season. For BBN Tonight, I'm Eli Gain.
Man, focused is right.
Right. And Coach Stoops said something else at the podium today that kind of struck me. It was about that Georgia game and how they went down and got that final touchdown.
Yep.
He was like, we were out there playing the top team in the country. We wanted to take advantage of that. They wanted to get a score on them. That's why they wanted to go against that team and do what they could do.
And it was an important stat at the end of the season because not many teams have done that. Well, you heard Eli mention Bear Bryant there, and Coach Stoops can etch his name into history as Kentucky's all-time winningest coach with just his 2nd win this season. An incredible accomplishment, really, but when he was asked about it today, Coach didn't have too much to say, just that he wants to make his mom proud.
with the record and all that, I appreciate you bringing it up, but it's not a time to really reflect on that too much. I do, honestly, just personally think about my mother, because I want her to be there, and for her to have 2 sons that have the all-time wins at Power 5 programs with Bob at Oklahoma, myself at Kentucky. That's really the only focus that I have is on my mother to be able to be there and share in that moment.
Man, shout out to the moms. I love that. And I was watching Feinbaum earlier, and Chris Doering, I think he was on there. He said it's hard to wrap his head around the fact that Stoops has been in Kentucky 10 years, a whole decade. That's how I feel, realizing that he's more than likely about to become the winningest coach here. I didn't think that I would see it.
It's true. It's been great to have the longevity from a head coach here at Kentucky. Now, Coach Stoops was asked what the biggest concern was going into the season, and he said it's establishing playmakers at wide receiver, because when you have a great QB, you need some guys who can get the ball to, especially with no Wan'Dale Robinson or Josh Ali on the roster. Some new guys are going to have to step up. It's a young but talented room. Will Levis told local media this morning Dane Key is a starter right now and just has to keep coming in and earning that every day. Mark Stoops also brought up Key on the main stage.
He's a special young man and definitely an impact player, and you could see right away he has the mindset that he could pick things up. And then Travion Robinson, bringing him in as a transfer from Virginia Tech that has a lot of experience, we needed that as well. And then we feel like we have young guys like Christian Lewis that were out there last year. DeMarcus Harris has been waiting for his role. We really feel like he's going to have a big year. So we feel like as a group, we're probably as talented as we've been in a long time, but there definitely is some youth there that we've got a lot of work to do.
Coach Stoops also talked about how impressive newcomer on campus Barryon Brown was with the ball in his hands in his short time. So expectations are high for him as well. So from top to bottom, we feel pretty good about the pass catchers coming into the season. Don't you think so,
And that's
Anna?
exactly right. And obviously no replacing Wan'Dale, but I was taken aback by Levis's mentioning Dane Key as a starter. And just remember, guys, he came in as a mid-year enrollee, so he'll be extra ready. And guess what? We feel really good about the guy distributing the ball on offense. There have been a lot of guys we love who've played quarterback since Tim Couch was selected first overall in '99, but Will Levis is the only one who's been getting the same first-round draft buzz. But hey, for that to come to fruition for Kentucky's QB1, he's going to have to take a pretty big leap from last season, and for him, that all starts with taking care of the football.
One thing on the stat sheet that kind of is glaring is the interceptions, and I want to lower them, and that starts with decision making. And I think that just getting more reps and trusting getting the balls, getting the backs the ball in the backfield, and letting them make plays and getting them in space, good things are going to happen. So working on the chemistry with them. Might not be able to have the biggest catch radius of compared to the receivers, so being more consistent with the location of the balls that I'm throwing to them. In the spring, I was able to get them a lot of catches, which they were thankful for, I think.
And we know the 49ers, they had the backs very involved in the passing game, but Levis is right. He's going to have to make sure he's throwing accurate, catchable balls. And if he improves in those 1 or 2 areas, then, hey, buckle up, because we're about to have some fun this season. Coming up next on BBN Tonight, we'll hear more from Will and his teammates.
Yeah, DeAndre Square and Kenneth Horsey had plenty to say today as well. That's coming up on BBN Tonight.